thank you for tuning in to Redeeming Times today. Today I want to build on yesterday's devotional. Today I have basically just 3 simple stories and one real happening in my own personal life. The first story I happen to have here is about a little girl. Her name was Becky. It was back in January, around Christmas time. And it says here that she and her sister had shopped for gifts for her mom and dad. They visited the toy department of a big store in the mall, and on the way home, they stopped at a restaurant to have dinner. Becky couldn't remember for sure where they had eaten, so she decided to ask her mom, "Mom, did we eat at the lighthouse when we came back from Minneapolis?" "Yes," Mother answered. "And did we have chicken?" "Yes, we all ordered chicken." Becky's lip drooped, then suddenly she began to cry. "What's the matter?" Mother asked. Becky looked at her mother sadly and said, "But I wanted ham." Her mother couldn't help but laugh when Becky said she wanted ham. "There's nothing to do about it now," she told Becky. "You dry your tears, and the next time we eat out, make sure you order ham." Now, the next story is this. It's about a boy named Jimmy. And one day he learned that his mother couldn't take him to the zoo the next day as he had planned. Right away he sat down and he started to pout. And when his father asked him what was troubling him, he says, "I can't go to the zoo." "But that's tomorrow, isn't it? Why be sad today about something that is going to happen tomorrow? Come, cheer up. Be happy today." To the first story, Becky was sad about something that had passed. The second story, Jimmy was sad about something that had not yet happened. Both were wrong in the way they behaved. No one can go back and change what has happened. The best thing is to forget it. If it is something you did that was wrong, however, ask God to forgive you. Then go on, live today the best way you know how. Nor does it pay to be unhappy about what might happen tomorrow. Things can change, but even if they don't, you mustn't be unhappy today about what might happen tomorrow. Nor does it pay. If we remember all the Lord has done for us, we'll be happy today and every day. The Scripture says, "This is a day which the Lord hath made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it." Came across this other story, and here it was about a fellow who had decided to put a marble in a vase for each worry during the year. And at the end of the year, he had quite a collection of marbles, but he couldn't remember what worry even one of them represented. I'd hoped to have me a glass jar with some marbles in it, but I didn't have it. Here we have 3 stories. We have the story of a girl who was worried about the past that she could not change. We have a story of a boy who was concerned about tomorrow, which he feared was not going to be what he thought and hoped it might be, and to the extent that it ruined a good day. And then we have the story of a fellow who collects marbles, and he puts them in a little vase to collect them to remind him of all the things that he's worried about through the year. And at the end of the year, he finds out, like most of us, most of the things that we worry about, what? Never happen. Let me tell you one situation that happened, and this has probably happened many times, several things like it, but you could relate to this. There was a time that I was working at a particular location. And it was a very fixed income, only had so much money coming in, and my bills were just like any other young couples or anybody else that had obligations. Well, there was an organization that was responsible who promised to compensate us for certain needs that we had. But they no longer were able to do that, and they came to me and they said, "Well, look, we're not going to be able to meet that obligation anymore. We're sorry." What that meant was that we were going to become $100 short of meeting all of our obligations. So we now had to make a decision. So we're going to honor the Lord and tithe and give that portion unto God which we believe was rightfully His, or we're going to pay a rent. You see, if we tithed of that which we had unto the Lord, then we wouldn't have the money for the rent, which would be $100. But if we paid the rent and didn't tithe, then we wouldn't honor the Lord, but we'd have our rent taken care of. And so talk is cheap. It's easy to talk about these principles. It's easy to say, look, we ought to give unto the Lord and honor him first in everything we do. But now came the time of decision. What are we going to do? So my wife and I together decided, well, the only thing we can do, we can take this today, one day at a time. What shall we do today? And to make a long story short, what ended up happening during the next 2 months, not only did we have the $100 that was needed to cover the rent, but we also had an additional $100 on top of that, and the Lord had provided for us a total of $200. And what did we do? We honored the Lord with our gifts and our giving, and trusted him to take care of everything. And you know what? He did. He did. I didn't know what tomorrow would bring. I couldn't change the past. But all I could do was do that which is honoring the Lord in the present and trust him to take care of it. And God did that. Now, he's done all kinds of things. The truth is, where God guides, he provides. Yesterday's gone. I can't fix it. I can't do anything about it. I might go and make some things right, but I've made wrong. Tomorrow may never be mine. Why boast myself about tomorrow? I don't know what it brings. Somebody said, how can you make God laugh? Well, I can tell God what my plans are for tomorrow. Truth is, I don't know about tomorrow. But we don't have today. So why should we worry? So today, we can be like the little girl and be frustrated about yesterday. Or we can be like the little boy and let a bad day tomorrow ruin a good day today. We can be like the man with the marbles, and we can worry and worry over nothing. Or we can simply trust God today. Just trust him today. Do what he'd have you do today, and know it's going to be all right. My heart's desire and my prayer for the folks that live in Gray, Nebraska, surrounding areas, and all the folks who come in, really is that God will bless each and every one of you, and each and every one here, according to your needs. And might we always remember to cast all of our cares upon him, because he really does care for you.